preheating the oven or baking a cake. Which do you prefer? Okay, I let you circle. You can circle on the screen if you have that function. Yeah, is it A or B? You put a circle there. The column on the left or column, oh yes. Well, I see two of you prefer the right item, the column on the right. Yes. Oh, okay. So do you prefer God's will being done in your life or my life, my way? Now don't make a mess. Circle meaningfully. Oh, and do you prefer a beautiful tent or an eternal house? Do you guys live in a tent or okay, finished? All right, okay, stop marking. Yeah, that's good enough. Thank you so much for your contribution. Do you prefer living in a tent or living in a house? It may seem fun to go on camping, but living every day in a tent would not be a very good thing, would it? And we do prefer, many of you have circled, an eternal house in heaven. Now, this exercise prepares us for reading the first chapter. So I will stop sharing that. Can you see? Oops, stop sharing first. And then I won't allow participants to do the sharing. Okay, so who can share? Only host can share. Now I will share something. I will share chapter 4 with you. Okay, day 4. Let us start reading day 4. Just like last time, I have highlighted some bits so we can finish reading 3 chapters in just one lesson. So day 4. All right, I hope you can see clearly. Well, what is the title of this chapter? It says made to last forever. Do you know that you are made to last forever? A watch may last for 2 years, a washing machine maybe 5 years, but your life is made to last forever. Okay, let me see what is the next highlighter bit. Okay, please don't highlight anything for me. Thank you. All right, so the first one, who would like to read? Anyone want to volunteer?
At most, you will live 100 years on earth, but you'll spend forever in eternity.
Yeah, at most you live 100 years. You last 100 years on this earth, but you spend forever in eternity. Next, the Bible says, someone please read it for me. A girl, please. Any girl, the Bible says.
The Bible says God has planted in the human heart.
Yeah. Can everybody put your hands on your heart and feel it? It says that God has planted eternity in your heart. Okay? It is in your heart to want eternity. 每个人都想要 eternity is in your heart. Okay? The next, the reason we feel, a boy please. The reason
we feel that we should live forever is that God wired our brains with that desire.
Yeah, can you put your hand now on your brain? It is in your brain. God has wired this into your brain. We want to live forever. We don't just want to live 100 years. Everyone wants to live forever. It is in our heart, in our brain. The Bible calls you, sorry, I will read this long bit. The Bible calls your earthly body a tent, okay? We are living in a tent. This body is just a tent, but we have a future body, which is a house, okay? Let's all read this verse together. 1, 2, 3. When this tent
we live in, our body here on earth is torn down. God
will have a house in heaven for us.
In heaven for us to live in, a home he himself has made, which will last forever.
Okay, thank you. So we live in this tent, And this tent will be torn down one day. Everybody's gonna die, right? But God has a house in heaven for us to live in, a home he himself has made, which will last forever. Isn't it good news? And that's the good news we want to tell people as well, especially those sick people whose bodies suffer, but they actually have an eternal home, okay? So we want to share this good news with them. If you learn to love and trust Jesus Christ, God's Son, you will be invited to spend the rest of eternity with him, and you don't just live in the house alone by yourself. No, that will be very lonely, and you don't want to be lonely forever. No, you will actually go to heaven and you will have Jesus, right? You will spend the rest of eternity with him. On the other hand, if we reject his love, if we say no to his forgiveness and salvation, we will spend eternity apart from God forever. And that's a name for the place where there is no God for eternity. And that name spells H-E-L-L, I'm sure you know. So isn't it a big difference if we accept Jesus' forgiveness, accept his love, accept his salvation, we go to heaven and spend eternity with him. We don't want to go the other way. All right, so next bit. This world, can everybody read this together? 1, 2, 3. This world
This world is not our home. We are looking forward to our
we are looking forward to our everlasting home in heaven. Right. Everlasting home in heaven. Are you looking forward to it? Or do you like your home here so much? Can you imagine your home in eternity is so much better? All right, so we finished reading day 4. How are we doing? Am I going too fast? Or are you doing okay? So before we move on to day 5, I project the activity again for day 5 activity. Where is that? Okay, day 5 activity. Oh, okay. So this one, do you know what a metaphor is? Okay. A metaphor, for example, you say that my mom is a beautiful rose. Okay. So you compare your mommy to a beautiful rose. Okay. Because you think that she is as beautiful as a rose. How do you compare your life? What do you compare your life with? Do you compare it with a roller coaster? A journey? A gamble? So do you know these words? Now, if you compare your life to a roller coaster, you think that, oh, sometimes it goes up, sometimes life goes downhill. So it's a roller coaster ride. A journey because you keep walking and walking and you pass by different places, you experience different things, you see different sights along the way. So you compare your life to a journey. A gamble, you either win or you lose. You have to make a decision, big decision, put on some stakes, and then you win or lose. Or do you compare your life to a test? Okay, so I either fail, I don't know the answers, then I fail, or I get the right answers, then I pass the test. Do you see your life as a test? Okay, here I don't need to explain an assignment, right? The last one, is everybody familiar with homework, assignment? Your life is to do something that you are told to do. Then you compare your life to an assignment. Do you see your life as being told to do some tasks, just like an assignment? Or do you see your life as a trust? Now I have to explain what a trust is, okay? A trust is a foundation, okay? And your truster, the very rich man, puts in a lot of money to the trust, okay? And the rich man says, take care of this money. I want to help the student who wants to go to university but does not have the money to go to the university. And I want to help a widow to help raise her kids. So the rich man gives a lot of money to the trust, and the trust passes the money to those people who need the money, and they are called the beneficiary, okay? So a trust is like an organization. In Chinese, what do you call that? 信託基金。哎，我不懂普通話，對不起。So can somebody translate 信託基金 an organization to help take care of the rich man's money, and the trust will have to look for the needy people and then pass the rich man's money to the needy people. Okay, so do you consider your life as a trust, which means someone has passed you some good things and you are to pass it on to other people? So I have explained, I hope, clearly enough for you to choose. How do you see your life? What is your life metaphor? Can you circle carefully, thoughtfully? Don't make a mess. It's not for making a mess, but I want you to reflect and share with us. Okay, so someone, oh, sorry, can you do this again? Can you undo? Whoever circled that, can you undo? Yes, okay. So now everybody, if you can't circle on the screen, you just shout out your answer to us. How do you see your life? Is your life a roller coaster? You go up and go down. Oh, someone says that your life is like a journey. Okay. Another person says your life is a journey as well. Who sees your life as a gamble, big win or big loss? Who sees your life as a test? Okay. I have to pass this test. Okay, I need to be I need to be clever enough to pass the test. Wise enough to pass the test. Oh, so who and then okay, so 3 of you have made your choice. Oh, someone says it's like a roller coaster. Anything else? Anyone thinks that your life is an assignment? That means remember who's your creator. God is your creator. That means you think that God has given you a job to do. Do you see your life as being an assignment, that God has given you a job to do? Okay, so now let me ask you another question. What do you think that the author of Purpose Driven Life says our life is like? Rick Warren, the author of this book. Okay, so now you delete all the circles. He says that our life is like 3 things. Do you think he would say that our life is like a gamble? Yes or no? No. Our life, he says, is like 3 things. And actually, can I annotate as well? Let me try. Oops, sorry. Okay, so the author, Rick Warren, says that our life is like a test. That's day 5. And he says our life is like a trust. That's day 5. And in day 6, chapter 6, he says that our life is like an assignment. Okay? Our life is like an assignment. So let me explain again. God has given you a test. Okay? So you will see some challenges in your life, and your job is to overcome the challenges. It's like a test. Okay? So that's the idea. And do you know what a trust means? That means you are the middleman. Okay? God has given you something for you to give to others. Oh, let me ask. Sorry, I don't know. Yasmin, is Yasmin here? Yes, Yasmin, I remember your name. So what has God given you and asked you to give to others? You are the trust, huh?
Love and respect.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Huh?
Love and respect.
You are muted. What has God given you, everyone? Yasmin, loudly, please.
Love and respect.
Oh,
Respect.
sorry, that's why I wish I could see you face to face. Okay, let me ask someone else. Caleb, can you speak? What do you think God has given you in your trust? Now you are the trust. God has given you something for you to give to others. What has God given you? Huh? Is it money? Is it your time? Is it your talent? So you have to, you can nod your head. Is your guitar playing? God has given you the skills to play the guitar so that you can give that back to the people at church. I can see the family with four wonderful children always leading worship. So God has given you the talents and you give the church your talents. So you are like a trust. So day 5 question. I have just asked you actually, what has God given you? What has God entrusted to you? How would you use it wisely for his glory? You have to think about that. Has God given you a sister? Okay, God has entrusted you with a sister. How do you take good care of your sister for God's glory? Caleb and Samuel, God has given you a brother. Okay, how do you treasure this brotherhood and use it to glorify God? Let me see what God given you. God has given you a beautiful voice and trusted you with a beautiful voice. How do you use it to sing, to praise God? So that's the idea of chapter 5. So now let us read chapter 5. So as I say, we want to get to the book itself. So let me project the book for you. You guys are so quiet, makes me a bit uneasy. So if you could speak up, that would be great. Okay. So feel free to speak up. It's a bit strange when you're so quiet. Okay, day 5. Seeing life from God's view. How does God see our life? Let's get to the highlighted bits. God sees our life on earth as a test. Okay. This life metaphor is seen in stories throughout the Bible. According to Rick Warren, our life is like a test. Remember Abraham? Abraham had a test. When God wanted to test his faith, he said, sacrifice Isaac for me, his only son. So that was a big test. All right, so character, that means your 人格, okay? If you can understand my Mandarin. Your personality is both developed and revealed by tests. And all of life is like a test. You are always being tested. God will see how you respond to people, your problems, your success, your conflicts, your illnesses, your disappointments, and even the weather. Have you ever lost your temper when the weather is bad? Now that's a test. Do you lose the test? Do you fail the test when things don't go your way and you lose your temper? Every time you lose your temper and shout and yell, it is like failing the test. Okay, every time we can withhold our anger, we can control our temper, it's like passing the test. Okay, and God will watch over our simplest actions, such as when you open the door for others, do you pass the test, the politeness test? Can you show me your hands? Show me your hands if you open doors for others. You do? Whoa, well done. So you've passed the politeness test. How about now? It's a very big test. Sometimes you get wrongly accused at school. People say something that you haven't done. How do you pass the test? Have you raged your anger at that person and want to, punch somebody if somebody accuses you, insults you? Or do you hold your anger and pass the test and let God says, well done? You want a well done from God, or you want to just react by yourself? Now, we are always facing these tests. I think you are facing a lot of tests at school as well. I'm not talking about your Chinese test, English test, talking about situations when your classmates say, can you please show me your answer? So your classmate wanted to cheat in the exam and ask you, hey, show me your answer. Because we're good friends. How do you pass these tests? Okay. Do you keep your honesty, or do you just say yes to your good friend who wants you to cheat a bit in the exam. Now, all these are tests, okay? So the author says every time we open a door for others, every time we pick up a piece of trash and say, even though the trash is not mine, I will put it in the bin. Or when you are polite towards a clerk or a waitress, okay? People at the restaurant serving you, if you say thank you, now that's passing the politeness test, okay? Let's read on. God keeps his promise and he will not allow you to be tested beyond your power to remain firm. At the time you are put to the test, he will give you the strength to endure it and so provide you with a way out. So God doesn't test us beyond our abilities, okay? So every time he gives us a test, he also gives us the strength to pass the test. If we want to obey him, if we are willing to obey him, he will give us a way out, okay? And can we read this together, everyone? Every time, 1, 2, 3. Every time you pass a test, God notices and makes plans to reward you in eternity. Remember, we have a house in eternity, and maybe every time you pass a test, God puts something nice in your house for you to enjoy in eternity. He rewards us, okay? All right, now the second metaphor, according to Rick Warren, life on earth is like a trust. I explain what a trust is, okay? God gives you something and you give it to others. We never really own anything during our brief stay on earth. Our stay on earth is how long? At most is 100 years, right? So God gives us something, but we don't own all these things. We just own them for a little while. Now let's read this, our culture. Can you please stay focused? Our culture says, if you don't own it, you won't take care of it. So if you don't own your car, you probably don't take good care of your car. But Christians live by a higher standard because God owns it. I must take the best care of it that I can, okay? So God owns your little sister, so I must take better care of my little sister. God owns this house, this garden, so I must take good care of my garden. God owns my money, so I must take good care of my money. God owns my time, so I must spend my time wisely instead of wasting it away looking at your phones and watching TV. You can do these things, but don't waste too much time because your time is not yours. God owns your time. He asks you to take good care of your time. All right, so lastly, if you treat everything as a trust, God promises 3 rewards in eternity. Now, first of all, what you get is you get affirmation. That means God will praise you and say, good job, well done. And the second reward is you will receive a promotion. Do you know what promotion means? Now, because I give you $10 to take care of, 10 pounds to take care of, and you take care of it so well, so I will give you 100 pounds to take care of. Now, since I let you take care of your little sister and you take care of her so well, so God gives you maybe a whole class of students to take care of one day when you grow up to be a teacher, for example. So God will give you the promotion to ask you to take care of more and more things. Then you will be honored. Number 3, the third reward is you will be honored with celebration, okay? Because the Bible says that come and share your master's happiness. When you are a good servant to take care of the things God has given you, then God says, come and celebrate, okay? I share with you my happiness. So these are great rewards. So we've done chapter 5 already. How much time do we have left? Let me turn on the air conditioner. Do you use air conditioners at home? So hot in Hong Kong, and I'm sweating. So, hey guys, cheer up. Okay, so quiet. We're gonna bore each other to death. All right, you don't have to mute yourself unless your background is really noisy. Otherwise, turn it on. We can chat with each other. Okay, share your comments. All right, we are learning together on this journey. Okay, so it's not like a lesson. I don't see this as a lesson. I see this as a fellowship. Okay, my time spent with you. So thank you. High five, Caleb. Yes, we don't have to be so serious, even though we are doing some serious stuff. We're reading a book, right? So 3 chapters at a time. And this book has got 40 chapters. So how long will it take for us to finish all 40 chapters? We do 3 chapters at a time. We can finish the whole book in 12 weeks. That means 3 months time, we finish one thick adult book, okay? Quite good, isn't it? So anything you want to ask me before I move on? Come on, give me at least one question about anything. If you want to find out anything about me or Hong Kong or this book or what I've been talking about, feel free. Anyone curious about anything before we move on? No? Then let me ask you, because I don't know that much. What do you do when you finish the lesson early? What do people do? Because this should be until 2:30, right? Do you ever end earlier than 2:30? Yes. So when we are finished, we just finish. Is that the way? Samuel, is this the way? Or do you always end on time at 2:30? No. Okay. Because I don't think I can have another half an hour to go. We just have one chapter left. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, no one's talking to me. I'm so sad. 那就让我很害羞啊，下一次不敢来啦，不敢再跟你们聊天，没有人跟我聊天呢。嘿，我的普通话怎么样？我的普通话你听得懂吗？
普通话很好，超级好，耶！Susan，你们要向他学习。
哎，那我说福建话，有没有人会听福建话？你食饭无？会晓听袂？没有反应。Okay, I switch back to English. It seems you can only understand my English. All right, so guys, please don't be so shy. I will be seeing you for the next few weeks, so we can read this book together. Okay? I hope that you will get more and more to get to know me more and more, and be less and less shy. All right. So chapter 6, day 6. Let us turn to the activity of chapter 6. Here you've got some sufferings, some problems in life. Can you rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay. Which one do you think is most serious? Okay. Number 1 is the most serious problem in life. Can we discuss? And you can, hey, feel free to discuss in your own way. Just chit chat. Which do you think of these 6 sufferings in life? Oops. Oh, wrong. This one is discrimination. All right. So let's look at all these sufferings one by one. First one, very clearly, sickness. Okay, when you get sick, when you become ill, it's really annoying, isn't it? When you don't feel well, you can't even eat. Painful, maybe. All right, the next picture, failure. So you're shooting an arrow, aiming at the target, but always missing it. That's what we call failure. I don't know whether you've experienced that before. So failure, as you can imagine, is a problem in life. Unfairness. Can you look at this picture, this tug of war? One lady against so many ladies. So it's not fair. Is life fair? You show me. Let me look at you. Nod or shake your head. Do you find life fair or not fair? Fair or not fair? Is life fair? Have you ever experienced unfairness? Do your teachers favor someone else instead of you in class? Do your teachers always favor 1 or 2 students? Okay, is this world fair? Are you given the equal opportunities as everyone else? So unfairness is a problem in our life. How about discrimination? Now this fish is of a different color. So this one is the odd one out, not included. Discrimination, a big word. Does it happen in your life? Show me your hands if you have ever been discriminated. I want to know, do Liverpool people discriminate others because of your skin color, because of your language, because of your height. Maybe you're smaller than all the big tall guys. I don't know. Have you ever experienced discrimination? Jennifer, you were shaking your head. No? Oh, good. What a wonderful word. Susan. Susan, hello. Have you ever experienced discrimination? Oh no, that's good. Great. Okay, so seems like Liverpool is a wonderful place. Okay. Now another problem in life is the loss of a loved one. Okay. I hope you haven't experienced that, but you can imagine. Okay. Someone whom you love passes away. It is painful. It hurts really badly, but we can't avoid it. These things happen, unfortunately. Okay. Loneliness. Okay. Do you experience loneliness? Is this lockdown period dreadful for you? You don't see your classmates. Do you feel lonely at home? So I was going to ask you to rank this from 1 to 6. Let me give you 1 minute. Which one do you think is the biggest problem in life? Which one is the smallest one? Can we circle? Do we agree which one is the worst one, the biggest problem? Let's do the worst one. Which do you think is the worst one? Oh, unfairness. Okay. Anyone thinks another problem is even worse than unfairness? Death of a loved one. Yeah, that one's terrible, isn't it? How about the second worst? What problem is just, it's not the worst, but it's pretty bad. Which problem? I'll let you circle one more. Feel free. Which problem do you think is terrible? Discrimination is terrible, huh? And I don't know whether you have heard of the news of a black person being killed by the police in the United States, in Minnesota, okay? And terrible, terrible thing. And a lot of people went onto the street to protest, and it was chaotic, okay? So that was related to discrimination and what we call racial discrimination, discriminating people based on their races, okay? So all these things are the problems. Now, let me ask you, many people will ask you, if your God is such a loving God, how come we have these problems on earth? How do we answer this question? If God is so loving, if God is real, why do we have these sufferings? Why does a small child get sick? Why does a small child lose a daddy? Why does this world discriminate people? Why is this world so unfair? How do we answer this question? Now, if you are asking this question too, chapter 6 gives you the answer of why do we have sufferings on this earth. Now, chapter 6 gives us an answer. Are you curious to find out? Let us find out the answer to this question, chapter 6. All right, I need to ask someone to read to keep you awake. A boy, please. Anyone? God. Any boy, please. God says. Hello? Anyone? God says. Caleb, can you read this? God says his children.
God says his children are to think differently about life from
Not helping me. Anyone? God says his children are to think differently. Any boy would help me read this, please. 1, 2, 3. Go.
God says his children are to think.
No one. Okay, I'll read it. God says his children are to think differently about life from the way unbelievers do. Now, if they ask, why do we have so much suffering? You are to think this way. All they think about is this life here on earth. But we are citizens of heaven, where where the Lord Jesus Christ lives. We know that this life is temporary. Okay, so that's why here is the answer. Day 6. We are not completely happy here because we're not supposed to be. Okay, this is a broken world. It is a fallen world. It is not our final home. Okay, so we are created for something much better, the author says. And that's why this home is not the perfect home. We have a lot of sufferings here, and that is the way it is. Just like a fish would never be happy living on land. Can you imagine a fish being very happy living on land? No, because it's meant to be living in water, okay? And we are not happy living on this earth. Why? Because we are meant to live in heaven, okay? So we should fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. I will test you on this verse later, okay? So pay attention. Our eyes should not be fixed on what is seen. We should fix our eyes on what is not seen, what is unseen. For what is seen is, big word here, temporary. But what is unseen is eternal. Shall we now fix our eyes? Now let's look up, everyone. Let's try and look up to the ceilings. Fix our eyes on things above, okay? On things above. Fix our eyes on the eternal things, of the things you can't see, okay? Now, in God's eyes, the greatest heroes of faith are not those who achieve prosperity. That means a lot of greatness, success, power in this life. But those who treat this life as a temporary assignment and serve faithfully, expecting the promised reward in eternity. Now remember, Abraham, such a great man in the Bible. When Abraham died, God's promises were yet to be seen. He did not see all the promises come true when Abraham died, but he still believed, okay? So God rewarded him greatly for his faith, okay? Not because he was successful, not because Abraham was powerful, but Abraham is such a great hero because of his faith. You and I can be a great hero if we have this faith, okay? Now I want to tell you a story. Okay, so I look at you and tell you this story. Once upon a time, there was a boat, okay? A boat. On the boat was a missionary, okay? Do you know what missionary is? An old missionary, okay? An old man who had traveled to faraway places to preach the gospel, to share Jesus with others. And this old man came back to the United States, riding a boat, a small boat, okay? And on the same boat was a US president, okay? On the same boat was the US president. And when the boat arrived in America, a lot of people were waiting, okay, waving, welcoming the president to come home. And when the missionary got off the boat, nobody paid attention. Nobody even noticed the missionary came home because everybody was waiting excitedly for the president to come home. And this old missionary felt very sad. I have done so much for God, but when I come home at this old age, no one knows me. No one welcomes me home. So that's the story here highlighted in this paragraph. An old story is often repeated of a retiring missionary coming home to America on the same boat as the President of the United States. Cheering crowds, a military band, a red carpet, banners, and the media welcomed the president home, but the missionary slipped off the boat unnoticed. Feeling self-pity and resentment, he began complaining to God. Then God gently reminded him, "But my child, you are not home yet. You are not coming home. This is not your home. Your home is in heaven." So when life gets tough, when you are overwhelmed with doubt, when you are suffering, when you're wondering if living for Christ is worth it, remember what God said to this old missionary: you are not home yet, okay? At death, you won't leave home. You go home, okay? So even when we die, one day when we die, we are not leaving home. We are going home. Isn't that good news? Our home is above. So that's all, chapter 4 to 6. So far, we have finished chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let us have a little review on the last page, a little review. So let me show you this PowerPoint. Let me share with you this PowerPoint. We're almost done. I know you're tired. All right, let us have a quick review. Which tent do you prefer? Which one looks nicer? Okay, I have chosen 3 different shapes. 3 tents of different shapes. Which do you think is better? Can we have a vote? Can you circle the one that you think will be better to live in?
I can't draw on this.
Anyone? This one looks quite luxurious. Is this a television here? Yeah, this one seems quite nice, huh? This one is quite long, so spacious enough for you to lie on the floor. Yeah, everybody prefers this one. But even though this one looks so comfortable and luxurious, it is no comparison with our, okay, thank you very much. I know you love this tent very much, but it's no comparison with our eternal home. So let me share with you this last page. Okay, this last page of our materials. Do you know that we are building a house in heaven? We live this life, purpose-driven life, knowing that we are doing something for eternity. And each of these 6 things is like a brick, okay? Some of the bricks are suitable for building eternal home. Some of them are not suitable for building the eternal home. You can use this one, okay, to build the eternal home. You can help the needy, okay? This one will help you build the eternal home. But you can't build an eternal home by playing Switch unless you play Switch with someone because you love that person, you want to accompany him or her to make him or her less lonely. Well, then there's a reason for playing Switch. Or you can build your eternal home by reading more of the Bible, get to know more about Moses, because one day you will see him in heaven and Moses will say, hey, do you know me? And you say, no. You don't know me? I led the Egyptians to cross the Red Sea. And say, really? I did not know that. Okay, then you should read more about Moses, read more about David, read more about Paul. Okay, because one day in heaven you'll be talking to Paul, and then Paul wants you to know what he did. Okay, so spend more time reading the Bible stories. Now we don't go to heaven. We don't build a house in heaven by looking very beautiful, dressing very fashionably. All these are not relevant. Okay, but we spend a lot of time doing this on earth. But that's doing the meaningless things. Okay, so we must bear in mind that we have a purpose-driven life. We are building an eternal house in heaven, and we must use the right bricks. Okay, you can share the gospel with an uncle. That will be the right material for building a house in heaven. Okay, but taking some wonderful pictures and getting a lot of likes on Facebook, on Instagram may not get you the materials you need for building a house in heaven. Okay, so remember, we are building a house in heaven. All right, the last question before we say goodbye. Since I was made to last forever, okay, I was made to last forever. Remember, you're building a house, not a tent. You want to build a house that lasts forever. Then what is the one thing I should stop doing and wasting my time doing, and should spend more time doing what? Okay, you have to think to yourself. What is the one thing that you should start doing today? Now, I must confess to you, I haven't read the Bible yet, okay? I spent half a day preparing for today's lesson, okay? So I was reading this Purpose-Driven Life, I was doing the PowerPoint, I was doing the notes, but I haven't read the Bible yet. So today, after I say goodbye to you, I have to read the Bible. I also need to do it, okay? Life gets busy and you forget, and I do it because I want to, not because we have to, okay? But I hope that you like reading the Bible because that's what Jesus says in the Bible. Okay, you want to read what Jesus says in the Bible. All right. So really the last little revision, last little verse before we say goodbye. Oops, I got the answer shown to you. Did I? Here, so it's just a quick revision of the verse of today. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is what? What is the blank here? Everybody, can you shout the answer so that I know you've been listening? Please. What is the answer here? We fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is the word?
Not seen.
Anyone?
Not
Rachel?
seen.
James? And Wu Huang Yi? And Caleb, Susan Sam, and Yasmin. Jennifer, I hope you know. What is the answer here? We don't fix our eyes on things that is seen, but on things that is
unseen.
Ooh.
Unseen.
Okay, unseen. Okay, things that are unseen. For example, holding the door for your neighbors. Okay, taking the trash out. Okay, saying thank you to the waitress. Smiling to a disabled person.
What is?
Okay.
What
Put on a big smile to a disabled person. And if someone at your school is being bullied, being isolated, spend some time with this person. These are things that are unseen. Okay. You should fix your eyes on these things. But what is seen is temporary, a big word. But what is unseen is. Caleb, come on. Give me the answer. What is unseen is. Do you know this big word? You're just 9 years old, right? I don't think my daughter, 9 years old daughter, would know this word. But it's an important word everybody must know. What is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Okay? So today, for these 3 chapters, last time what did we talk about? We said that this life is not directionless. We can't go left and right just randomly. We have a direction to go, and that is the purpose God has given to you, to your life. We need to live a purpose-driven life. And so which is that direction? This week we learned that we should focus on that direction of eternity. Okay? So before maybe you spend your time busy with a lot of stuff, but you need to fix your eyes, look above. Okay? Look at the ceiling. Thinking of things above. Remember, you're building a house, an eternal house in heaven. And you need the good materials. And you'll be rewarded when one day God sees you remember the 3 rewards. God will say, well done. And God will say, come and share my happiness. And He will give you a promotion. Since you are so trustworthy, let me give you more things to take care of. Because your life is a trust. God has entrusted you with time, talents, your abilities, money, your intelligence, your knowledge, your friendships, your siblings, your parents. God has entrusted you with a lot of blessings, and you are to pass those blessings to others. Thank you so much. I know it's tiring, and you've been so respectful and patient. So we're done reading the 3 chapters. So I'll stop here. Finishing a bit early. And who's gonna take over? Usually.
I will speak a few words. Hello, boys and girls. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Don't you think Chloe done so well?
You probably don't.
Yes, come on, put your hands together. Wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, no need to
amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Praise God.
So, thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Pastor Deng or
yeah. Let me get on to Zoom
before we end.
Sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. I am going to
thank you, Caleb.
put my.
It's very good to see you jumping and energizing for all of us.
I'm going to.
Having been sitting for so long.
Great. I'm going to join the meeting.
Tomorrow, Sunday, we look forward to a Sunday worship service. Jennifer, you
Jessica.
lead the worship again tomorrow?
Sorry.
No? Okay, so I would say, at first I thought, I probably will finish early, so I should prepare a song to share with you guys. Do you mind if I look it up? Would you give me a minute to look up a song to share with you?
Yeah, no problem.
Let me go to YouTube. It's my favorite song, favorite hymn, and it's in Cantonese. Let's see if you can understand Cantonese song. And after the song, maybe we can really say goodbye.
I will spend about 5 minutes sharing the message to young people. Okay.
But then that'll be 1 hour and 25 minutes.
Okay, got it already. Okay. The Lord is my provider.
天空降下，愛在灌，小花吸取這愛，綻放色彩。當失腳與困苦，你應許沒變改，令內心深感應到。神大愛深過似海，感恩你在每刻賜下厚愛，供給所需一切，令我心喝彩，祝福我在這生，信心不會變改，懷着謙卑心靈讚頌你愛。神是我這生供應者，祝福滿滿傾瀉，緊擁抱我渡過寒夜。神是我這生供應者，因光照我荒野，許多咒詛靠着你可改寫。神應許嗎哪降在曠野，感恩你在每刻賜下厚愛，供給所需一切，令我心喝彩，祝福我在這生，信心不會變改，懷着謙卑心靈讚頌你愛。神是我這生供應者，祝福滿滿傾瀉，緊擁抱我渡過寒夜。神是我這生供應者，因光照我荒野，許多咒詛靠着你可改寫。神應許嗎哪降在曠野，神是我這生供應者，祝福滿滿傾瀉，緊擁抱我渡過寒夜。神是我這生供應者，因光照我荒野，許多咒詛靠着你可改寫。神應許嗎哪降
Okay, so this is my favorite song in Cantonese. And I will pass the time to Pastor Dan.